Today, the country heard the final case for the impeachment of Donald J. Trump. Like a prosecutor's summation to the jury, counsel for the House Judiciary Committee told America how the president abused his power and obstructed the Congress. And today was the last scheduled public hearing before the House majority enters articles of impeachment this week against President Trump. Lawmakers heard from lawyers representing both the Democratic majority and the Republican minority, each making their final closing case in this phase of the House's impeachment drive. Democratic counsel Danny Goldman summarized the 300-page report from the House Intelligence Committee, highlighting the overwhelming evidence, he said, that showed the president abused his power. He said there's an urgency to now stopping him. Citing Rudy Giuliani's latest expedition to Ukraine for more political dirt, for example, Goldman said the president's solicitation of foreign interference represents a clear and present danger to this country.
President Trump's persistent and continuing effort to coerce a foreign country to help him cheat to win an election is a clear and present danger to our free and fair elections and to our national security. The evidence from these witnesses cannot seriously be disputed. The president placed his personal interests above the nation's interests in order to help his own re-election efforts.
Most important, Goldman made clear that from start to finish, the president himself was directing the scheme to extort Ukraine. Here's how he answered a series of rapid-fire questions posed by Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell.
Who sent Rudy Giuliani to Ukraine to smear Joe Biden?
President Trump.
Who fired the anti-corruption ambassador in Ukraine, Marie Yovanovitch?
President Trump.
Who told Ambassador Sondland and Ambassador Volker to work with Rudy Giuliani on Ukraine?
President Trump.
Who told Vice President Pence to not go to President Zelensky's inauguration?
President Trump.
Who ordered his own chief of staff, Mick Mulvaney, to withhold critical military assistance for Ukraine?
President Trump.
Who asked President Zelensky for a favor?
President Trump.
Who personally asked President Zelensky to investigate his political rival, Joe Biden?
President Trump.
So as it relates to President Trump, is he an incidental player or a central player in this scheme?
President Trump is the central player in this scheme.
That was so well done. The Republicans' counsel, Steve Castor, offered a bizarre explanation for Trump's July call with Ukrainian President Zelensky. That's the conversation, of course, where the president personally asked Zelensky for two investigations, one into Joe Biden, the other into that discredited conspiracy theory that it was Ukraine, not Russia, that interfered in the 2016 American election. Well, the Republican counsel said Trump's intent in that call was to help the United States, I love this, move forward after the Russian probe.
To impeach a president who 63 million people voted for over 8 lines in a call transcript is baloney. Contrary to Democrat allegations, President Trump was not asking for a favor that would help his reelection. He was asking for assistance in helping our country move forward from the divisiveness of the Russia collusion investigation.
For that part, their part, rather than defend the president's actions, committee Republicans resorted to partisan attacks and complaints about the process. I'm joined right now by U.S. Congresswoman Madeleine Dean, a Democrat from Pennsylvania who serves in the House Judiciary Committee, Barbara McQuaid, former U.S. Attorney, Yamiche Alcindor, White House correspondent for PBS NewsHour. Thank you all. I want to get to what seems to be the end of the fight. Congresswoman, tell us about the role that today, it seemed to me like a summary summation by a prosecutor, bringing the case home to the jury.
I believe that that's an apt description. This was a presentation of the overwhelming, damning evidence of a president who sought foreign interference in our elections for his own political and personal gain. And what he did was he put our national security at risk. He put our elections at risk. And what was interesting was the Republicans, the minority party, did not have one fact they could dispute.
That's what struck me again, not just the overwhelming nature of that interplay back and forth between Eric Swalwell, your colleague from California, and the committee counsel, Danny Goldman, which was thorough. I thought thoroughgoing and getting to all the points. But the absolute lack of a point by the Republicans. I mean, I'm not saying I felt sorry for them, but the Republican counsel couldn't handle any central question. Every time it came up to what was the president saying on the phone with Zelensky, he just had to play dumb or say something almost Orwellian to get out of it.
The testifying and the questioning from the minority party was extraordinarily weak. I thought Lieutenant Vindman, Colonel Vindman, summarized it appropriately, and it was echoed by 12, 13, 14 other patriots. It is improper for the President of the United States to say to a foreign leader, we will need a favor from you, though. I'm going to hold up the aid to your desperate country who is under attack by Russia. You are losing lives. I'm going to hold up aid that is not mine to hold up until you do me a favor, though. And the only favor he wanted was the announcement of an investigation into his top political rival, an American citizen. It's extraordinary. And I just sat there stunned to think, don't the rest of the dais, don't the rest of the minority members care about our precious constitutional rights? Because what this does is it makes us less safe and it makes us less free if we allow a president to be above the law.
Congresswoman, I've been watching all day and watching for weeks like you have as a participant in your case. I get the sense, listening to the summation today, by what I said sounded like a prosecutor's final statement to the jury, that we're looking at probably 2 articles here sometime later this week.
I think you're probably right. I'm not going to predict. I know we're going to be taking a look at drafts. We have been able to talk to our committee and give our input on the drafting of the articles, but I don't want to presuppose them. We're supposed to see them soon.
Okay, thank you so much, U.S. Congresswoman Madeleine Dean of Pennsylvania. Let me go to